Everybody, this is the Random Podcast. I'm Brandon.
I'm Blakely.
And we have even though it's a couple weeks late and you're chewing on hair.
I'm good now.
That came out wrong again. I got to stop watching Charles Barkley video highlights. Yeah. But this is on the 2025 WWE NXT 2025. I think they just say
NXT Vengeance Day. Just
2025. We had some shooky dooky quack quacks during. I mean, he doesn't say it anymore, so I have to say it. But first match was for the North American Champion. Am I saying it right? North American Championship.
Women's Championship.
Women's North American Championship. It was against Stephanie Vaquer and Fallon Henley. What?
Where do you think she's from?
No, I said it that way because it kept sounding like they were putting an L in it when I watched it, and I'm like, it's not Valkyr. It's I don't know. It was throwing me off the way they were saying it. It's Vic Joseph's fault. Him and his Vic Josephness. I thought this was a good match. I'm not the biggest Jasmine Nix. Is that her name?
Talking about a person with a mask on her face?
Yes.
Yeah, Jasmine Nix. Yes.
And JC Jane. I'm not their biggest fans, but I like this group. I don't remember what they're called.
Fatal Attraction.
Is that what they're called?
Fatal Attraction, yeah.
I thought that was the name of the movie from the early 90s, late 80s.
Or is it Fatal Influence? I think
Fatal Influence.
Yeah.
Fatal Attraction. I'm like, that's a movie. But our girl, well, I say more your girl than mine because you know her more. Stephanie won. It started a little bit slow, but I kind of feel like they're the type of wrestlers that as it goes, they get better. Now, I think Stephanie is way far ahead of Fallon. But I think Fallon did a good job in this match as well.
Fallon has really grown since her character from where she owned a bar.
See, I only watch pay-per-view, so I know nothing.
But
she looks like she'd be a bar.
But she has really grown over the time. She used to be in a group with Josh Briggs and the other dude's name.
I thought that's how I knew her.
Yeah.
What was the name of those?
Brooks and Jensen.
I was thinking Briggs and Stratton, but that's like an actual company.
But you just threw me off all the way.
Mustache Mountain.
That was Tyler Bate, and
I know. I just love that name. I don't know why. I'm sorry to get on a tangent.
From where she is now, I really like what they did with Fallon Henley.
I think the belt. I think the right person won, and that was Stephanie. The next match, which I don't know these people as much, so I won't have a lot to say other than the match, was Josh Briggs and
Son of Bull Buchanan.
Inamura, which I can never catch his first name because they put it up so fast. But I don't know him that well. He did a good job. I actually liked him. But they went against Fraxium for the NXT Tag Team Championship. This was a better match than I thought. I love Fraxium. I love the tag team. Briggs and Inamura, I don't know that well, but I knew of Briggs. I didn't realize Briggs was that tall or that big of a boy. But I thought him and Inamura as a team was really good. I love their styles, like they're opposite styles, and I like that. One's literally a big man, but then Inamura, being a bigger guy, his sumo technique and his willingness to fly at his size, I thought was good. I don't remember a bad Fraxium match, but I've only watched them on pay-per-view or PLE. But I thought it was a good match. I did like the match.
I did too. I like the physicality in there.
Why'd you say that way?
I don't know.
I guess because when I was picking on you for saying physical.
But I just don't know who can stop Fraxium. I mean, I guess there's someone out there. But right now, they're just hitting on all cylinders when it comes to tag team wrestling to where...
And I like the attack after the match. I like that they were nice to each other within the four-man goon squad showed up.
Attacked them.
I thought that was good. I do like faction work. It's just got to be good. The next match, which I really enjoyed this match, was Eddie Thorpe versus Trick Williams.
Whoop,
It was a strap match. This was a really good match. And there were a couple of times I was like, ooh, because that sounded like it hurt. Eddie Thorpe. Oh, and by the way, Fraxium retained. I don't remember if I said that. But I love Trick Williams. This is my first time really seeing Eddie Thorpe. He was really good.
I think he's a grandson of Jared Briscoe. Jerry Briscoe or Jared Briscoe.
Okay. I'm not even sure. Like I said, this is kind of like an introduction for me, even though he's been around 3 or 4 years. Their chemistry was really good. I know a little bit about the story because they kind of told you a little bit, but I felt the story in their match. Like, I felt it. Like,
I was supposed to see Eddie Thorpe pick up the dub.
I was too.
I guess because we at that spot where we think Trick is going up.
Yeah.
But I was surprised Eddie Thorpe got the W.
Yeah, I felt after watching the match, I think I would have been okay with either one winning. Because going in, like I said, I know Trick. I love Trick Williams' work. The next match was Ethan Page. All ego, Ethan Page versus bouncy Javon Evans. I wasn't surprised who won here. But I thought it was a good match. I think they have good there was a lot of good chemistry going on.
I like the ending where Ethan Page knocked out mouth guard.
Yeah.
To hit Twist of Ego or whatever his move is called.
Yeah, because he went to do the cutter and he punched him in air. And even when they showed the replay, he was, it showed him punching. I was like, he actually made it look connect. Sometimes you're like, oh, they kind of whiffed, but
I wonder how Javon was able to spit out that mouthpiece like he did.
He's bouncy.
He is bouncy.
Ethan Page, I think, was the right choice. But I think him and Trick, anytime getting called up, I wouldn't be surprised right after the Monday after WrestleMania, honestly. The next match, which that was, I can't remember. That was a they kind of said it wasn't unsanctioned, but he had to sign a specific
liability.
He had to sign a liability contract, so to speak, a liability clause thing. The next match was for the NXT Championship with Austin Theory versus Grayson Waller versus Obafemi. I already like Obafemi, and he just proved even more he's a superstar. He is the ruler of NXT. It'd have to change when he gets called up to be the ruler of WWE, I guess.
Raw or SmackDown.
I like of the whole thing better, but he's great. I don't. This match was really good.
He has future star written all over him.
Mm-hmm.
He's a beast.
I think he worked with 2 of the safest guys in the company too. Young guys.
I think sky's the limit for Oba. His theme song is cool.
Yeah.
I just beat your shoulder too long to it. Boom, boom.
It reminds me of the Street Fighter character. The way when he dances come out, the guy that had the skull on his. You haven't played.
I'm excited for his upcoming
Mortal Kombat. Sorry,
I'm excited for his upcoming match with Moose at Roadblock on CW March 14th. Was it March 11th?
I didn't know it was happening. I like Moose too. I might have to watch it. That's gonna be 2 meaty men going at it right there.
But I'm excited to see more of Oba.
I think
Obama.
Oba is, you call him up now. I think he's up there with Ethan and Trick. He's like right there. And I think it helped with Austin and
Grayson
Waller as well. Because you got little snippets in there of which the longest running need to break up tag team in all of WWE.
Since this time last year.
It also showed how good they can be to me as well. They were taking spots. For them to come back down to NXT and take those spots, to me, was good. Of course, Obafemi retained. He should have. Anybody who didn't think he would. But some of the moves, like I love the double slap when they're sitting on the. I was like, that's not even probably full force, and I can hear it. Like
It's like the hair
loud.
whip.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's just great because I love Austin Theory. Grayson Waller's hit and miss for me, but to me, this was a good match.
After banger.
The next match was Roxanne Perez, another one of my ladies, versus Cora Jade versus Bayley versus Julia for the women's NXT Championship. There were a couple of times, it was a good match, but there were a couple of times that felt, I don't want to say bad, but kind of slow or not pulled off better than it could have been. And I think that's just the matchups, kind of thing. Like everybody, there were so many different types of styles and paces of these four to me. Like I don't know Cora Jade's work as much, but like the pace, like Roxanne to me is more of a like slower downer, I guess. Bayley's like manic, like she's all over the place, and Julia I think more technical, I guess. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know Cora Jade as well. I got introduced to her, kind of. She's not one of them that's out of WWE now, is she?
No, she's still fully in WWE.
Maybe who's that I'm thinking of then?
Who are you thinking of?
I don't know. I might have just like had a stroke on camera. But this was a pretty good match. I don't really have a lot to say about it than what I've already said.
Well, you had the past, present, and future.
True. Bayley, who's done it all.
You have an upcoming with Cora Jade. You got Chad. You got Julia there. That's champ. Can be on the main roster. Can be amazing. Right. You got Bayley, who's a legend of NXT. Future Hall of Famer, has done anything. You got Roxanne Perez, who's done everything in NXT. 2-time NXT champion. Not a lot of people have been 2-time NXT
and she's
champion.
already breaking records on main roster.
She's on main roster doing amazing with Bayley. She's going to be a future champ, future main eventer. Mm-hmm.
See.
And for the women to main event a show NXT, that's special. Especially at the ending, having Jordan Grace comes in. That's why.
And Stephanie, yeah.
That's why I say March 11th, Roadblock, title for title match. Stephanie Valkyrie and Julia. That's why NXT has the best women's division on planet Earth.
Vic Joseph said it like 10 times.
Hands down, they can wrestle top to bottom against any female. I'll even put it against the main roster.
Some of them are really good on the mic too.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of them are like Roxanne, even though I know she's caught up now, and I think even at this point, because this was a couple weeks ago, she's the whole 9 yards. Let's see, Stephanie Valkyrie is already ready. Fallon Henley's like on. I would say she's on the cusp, but a little bit more. I would say all three of them a little bit more. Julia, she's like right there. Bayley's already up there. And then you got Cora. I keep thinking Cora's been around longer than I guess.
She's been there around long, but she's torn both of her ACLs.
Okay, she's the one that's okay. I get her mixed up with the other one they just released. That everybody was all hot and bothered about.
Saying the real?
No, before that, the other release set.
Tegan Knox?
Yes. For some reason, I get Tegan and Cora mixed up. Not because of the name, it's just the way people use them, like in social media and stuff. Because Tegan Knox had been around for a while too. But she never caught on for me for some reason. But it took Dakota Kai forever to take on for me. Now, kind of like a couple of like in grades. The NXT crowd loved them. I thought they were great. NXT crowd has, I think, yet to not be good.
They're wrestling.
But they care a lot about wrestling. So I would give them high grade. Commentary, at times they really missed the mark for me. Vic did good. Booker T at times was just like, in and out. Like, I don't know if he just stopped talking or fell asleep. And then Corey's going to be Corey. Corey's Corey.
Corey in the house.
But it still throws me off every time Trick Williams songs hits and Booker T. I'm like, wait a minute, is that in the song every time? And I'm like, nope, that's Booker. But Booker goes, yeah. I like it. And I'm like, stop, Booker T, stop, bro. You're destroying my brain. Now, what would you say? Because I'm going off, all I can go off is the match. You can see more because you're more into NXT. What would you say was the worst match of the night? To me, it's really tough because I'm having to go off of just match. I don't know the stories.
Probably Eddie Thorpe and Trick.
Okay, because I know some of the story from social media, but I don't know it full. Excuse me, sorry. I would say, man, it's tough. Maybe the tag team match, only because I didn't even feel like there was a story there at all. At least with Trick and Eddie Thorpe, I know the story behind it because of the social media of it as well.
Well, the story between the tag team was Axon really liked Josh Briggs and the other dude. Okay. And Dan what? Yeah,
see, to me that's what would you say is the match of the night?
The main event. Just because all players.
This is tough again, but I kind of got to go with the men's. I love some of the spots in it. I love how I always love it when like a tag team's like, no, I want the pin. You want, that was fun to me. And seeing Oba Femi just destroy them at times was fun. There was a couple of just cute issues I had in the women's. It was still a good match. I think all the right people won. And I like the couple of spots with the 4 guys showing up, like them attacking Oba. And the quadruple powerbomb they did, I really liked. The fact that it wasn't just like a slam, it was more like a toss slam. And the people who were like, Shield 2.0 or all this, and I'm like, calm down, dude. This is why we can't have nothing nice. These guys look way different. They're not like when the Shield first came out, you're like, oh, these guys seem more like fresh off, to the time, so to speak.
Yeah.
Not saying the other 3 weren't, but Shield, you got that star power feel already. I don't feel like with these, I feel like with these guys, these are going to be like a team guys. And I like the fact that they're going to put in, see, NXT is more faction oriented for me. That's why I wish I could see more. CW. But I also like some of the stuff with they alluded to with Sean Spears' group and the family. I kind of like the way that was going. Now that looked really off. Yeah, but I only saw from the side and that's all I saw. This is a little off of this. Overall grade. Let's do overall grade before I ask you a question that I do not know the answer to. And it's not to do with the pay-per-view. It's to do with roster. What would you give this pay-per-view?
B+.
I would give it B+ to where A's right here. And the other thing that brought it down was just I didn't know some of the stories. I'm sure if I knew the stories, it might have been higher. So before we finish out, this is more of a roster question.
Are you asking me?
Yes. I could ask the guy behind you, but I got a feeling Razor Ramon has no clue.
He's not. Razor ain't gonna.
No, and I know Brett's just going to say it was Goldberg's fault, but I know Chase U's done. Mm-hmm. I know Duke Hudson's gone. Mm-hmm. Is Thea Hale still around?
She's still there.
Okay. Is she just injured? I saw a post that seemed weird, and I was confused.
She's still there. I haven't saw reports if she's injured. I just don't think there's anything for her.
The reason I asked, I just saw something on X that she said, missing you guys. I'm like, wait, because sometimes that can be either taken as injury, written off the show, or release. Because there's been some releases I didn't know happened.
No, Thea Hale hasn't been released.
The other one too is Tony D'Angelo. Is he like kayfabe out, or is he like injury nursing, or
Kayfabe?
Yeah, that too. I don't think losing Chase U was a big deal in my opinion. I've already said I think NXT is meant to what will, if they ever get called up, would work. I don't think it would have ever worked on main roster. I think the family could only because the bloodline worked. Other than that, I don't think the family would have worked. And I think the other Shield could work. And the female trio I think could work. But I think that roster is probably stacked to where they can move some pieces up and they wouldn't miss a beat.
Mm-hmm.
I still think they're the best roster out of the three, in my opinion. But I kind of feel like the Adrian Chase, isn't that his name?
Andre Chase.
Yeah, that too. Adrian Chase is the villain from one of the seasons of Arrow. Andre Chase, though, you can't too many names run together. I'm anxious to see what they got in the future for him.
Yeah.
Type scenario. But that's all we kind of got for Vengeance Day. I know we're a little bit late on this. I didn't realize it happened. And I do like NXT pay-per-views because I don't feel like I got to know a story and I watch it and it's good. But yeah, we probably will end up doing one for the April the 19th one, which is considered a PLE.
Stand and deliver.
Stand and deliver. The reason, unless you want to comment on Roadblock, right? I got it right. I was going to say...
When is it?
I was going to say Block Road. That's March the 11th.
On?
CW. See,
at what time?
I wish 0500. No, it's usually 7. Yeah.
8 o'clock on the East Coast.
I don't know why I was getting quizzed. I don't watch it. But anytime they do an actual PLE on Peacock, I would like to try to review it because I might not get to watch as much, but I feel like they tell such a good story without me having to. Yeah, I might not have known the story in like the tag team, but I felt it, on the others. Like I could feel the anger between Thorpe and Trick. I felt it. But until next time, like, share, subscribe. What do you grade it? Until next time, we'll see you later.
Peace.